I meant across the street at a young lady right over there and some other people that the landlord came in and tried to force them out of their place. So that's how I ended up getting involved. Right across the street, and would you believe, in the same neighborhood, and this right here was taking place right across the street. And that's how I got involved. They told me that if I have any problems, matter of fact, they interviewed me across the street, and I was telling them, yeah, I have problems too. First, I was ashamed to get involved. I'm gonna admit I was, but I had to tell them my story. My name is Joyce, and my last name is Webster. And location, I'm a resident at 1237 Dean Street in Brooklyn, New York. So I just want to make that statement that I was here, and the next thing I know, my whole life started spinning out of control when abusive landlords came and did not want me to be in my place, and I just did not understand why. Because I felt that I was here before they ever got here. But so many different owners came that the only thing I know, I could just think about all the landlords, but rather so, Mr. Eviction was the worstest one out of all of them. He harassed me so much that it came into sexual harassment. One night, like he always do, he comes up the stairs, sneaking at night when he think ain't nobody watching, and knocked on my door and started making all kinds of sexual advances towards me. And I wouldn't give in, and I told him to get away from my door because right now he liking me, but I'm not liking him in that kind of way. And since I didn't ever give in, then he want to take his frustration out on me just because I'm living here. So since he couldn't get me to give in to him, I guess that he just wanted me out of the building. He's not really saying why. It's not about the rent. It's about how he made sexual advantages towards me, trying to take advantage of me because I live all alone. You have to stand up to a man, landlord that comes along, and when he came, I asked myself why this man is doing these things to me. And I want to know that anybody ever feel the same, that you being alone and you living all by yourself, and one thing is where you living at, but you don't have to deal with this. When it comes down to a landlord try to harass you over your body and trying to make sexual advances towards you, you don't have to deal with that. And I was in that kind of position that I had to fight him off. I had to fight him off. And he's still coming after me today because he's going to ask me to reveal my chest to him. And that's enough to make any attendant so pissed off with this coward. He's such a coward. You come after me and want me to reveal my body to you, my precious body. This is my temple right here, what I'm talking about. This is my body. And when you ask me to show you my body, I cannot have no kind of respect for you anymore because I feel like you are a pervert. You really are. And I hate to say it. What landlord trying to get his rent or trying to come in as a decent person to make some kind of sexual advantages like this to a tenant that been here before he ever got here? But when you come in here and thinking that I'm supposed to have a one-night stand with you, it's not going to happen. I love myself for me to even go through any changes that it's like, oh, do what I told you, and then maybe I could work something out for you. And I didn't give in. I would not give in to him. That he just won't stop. But I'm here to tell the world, don't be a victim like me. Please don't be a victim like me. If you see your landlord is up to no good, speak out. I want you to speak out. Make your story be known. Let the world know this is an owner not owning. He trying to get me out saying I owe him $41,000. Do you really hear that? It's not nobody gonna allow you to live into a room or apartment that you saying they owe you $41,000. Incident took place I never would forget. In 2009, just before Thanksgiving, I was cooking, and then the services was cut off. So I called the gas company, and I want to know what was going on with my gas. They said to me that the gas been taken out of your name and you don't live here. And I said, what is you talking about? I don't live here. I'm talking about the gas company. The gas company, they said, well, who's Miss Crystal? They asked me, did I know her? I said, sure, I know her. She lived downstairs near the basement in the back. So they said, well, you got to talk to her about why she took over your gas. And when I found out, Tony, Mr. Everton, after when everybody walked off from the building, that's when Mr. Tony McKenzie, he started acting like he owned the building. He started going around collecting people money, but Mr. Everton, he had left the people in the building, and Tony took over from there. The next thing, the story got right back to me. People wanted to jump on me through Mr. Everton and through Tony McKenzie. But Mr. Everton put the people here, and Tony had collected their rent. And after that, from there, I didn't understand. I saw these people, and I didn't know who put them in the building until they started blaming Tony McKenzie taking their rent, and he couldn't provide them no services. So that's how I had ended up meeting some people. Some was good and some was bad. 2009 in November, just before Thanksgiving, Con Edison, it was only one person that was out here. And the young man, I'm like, where's your partner? Because usually when Con Edison come, they have a backup partner. So he came alone. And I would never think in a million years what he would tell me. He looked at me and he was like, your building get ready to be blown up. I said, what you mean blow up? He said, somebody in your building had cut the gas line. I said, no. I said, I don't want to hear it. But the funniest thing about it, he didn't go around the corner and came right back down the block. I don't know, he said these words to me. He said, I can do this. He said, I had to drive back. He was driving back. Instead of you would go all the way back around the neighborhood and come right back to the building. He drew his van, parking it back towards the building. He said, I'm about to go off like it wasn't no day tomorrow. He just about to drive off. So what happened? I don't know what got inside of him for him to tell me that, but I guess his conscience must have been eating him up. So he said, it was troubling me that I had to tell you, Miss Joyce, that your building about to be blown up by a gas explosion. When I saw the gas coming out the pipes, and the pipes was cut in half, and the whole basement was smelling like gas. I was passing out. We both barely made it out of the basement because the basement was overflowed with gas. The gas was coming out the pipes so fast that I passed out. And the gas man had to just about almost dragging me up the stairs. Dragging me. He couldn't hardly stand up himself. When I finally came up the stairs, I was gagging. When I came outside, I was spitting spit, trying to hold my breath. It was so, the whole place in the basement, it was so full of gas that he looked at me and said, one thing, or even two things. We're going to have to get everybody off this side on the left hand side of Dean Street. They had to shut this whole side of this building down. They had to evacuate people from just this side, from this block of 1237 Dean Street where I'm living at today. And he looked at me. So I said, I don't have no place to go. He said, even one thing, or even two, you could come with me back. After when I caught my breath and caught air back in my breath, my eyes was red and I could barely see. But when I did came through, he said, one thing what you can do for me. He said, since you don't have no place to live, I'm going to try to get back in the basement and cap the pipes off where the gas was coming out of the pipes. Due to the fact I ain't had no place to go, I ain't want to go to a shelter back then. So I told him, okay. So he gave me like something to put, like something for me to wrap my face around and my eyes. So what happened, we went back in the basement, so he put the caps on the pipe. And right today, the caps are still remaining on the pipes where Tony McKenzie had cut the gas line. Well, anyway, from there, he said, what we have to do, we have to take dirt where the tree be at, where the dirt is surrounding, and where the tree is inside the dirt. We took some dirt from the tree, and we took that in the basement, and I was asking him what dirt would do for the gas leak, from the gas spill all throughout the basement. He said the dirt would dry the gas leak, it would dry some of the gas oil up. So sure enough, it's just like you baking chicken and you got flour and you pat it, so we pat the dirt on the gas leak. I was just concerned about my life. After that gas explosion that happened in the basement, I wasn't going to take another day by putting my life last. I wasn't going to put my life on the back burner. But I'm a very outspoken person. I just walked all over him and be myself and let him know you wasn't going to put me in no more danger. I'm so emotional right now.
Yes, Mr.
I just went through hell and back with these people. Somehow, it seemed like the more when I was overpowering 7 and 8 people, it just seemed like, did you ever felt that you being attacked with so many people on you and you could barely breathe and you being attacked by them? But don't matter what, don't matter how many times people was all over me and threatened my life, I wasn't going to hardly give up on this building.
Yes.
I can't give up on this building. I didn't have no place to live, and I refused to live in the shelter. I'm glad that I could be able to get my story out, and I hope it inspired other people. Stand up for your rights. We ain't going to take this crap no more. Just stand up. Don't matter how shameful that it may be or what it may sound like, stand up and fight for your story. Stand up and fight for your rights, because, no, it should never happen. Some people, like keep something inside and they so ashamed to come out or so ashamed to come forward and just tell it like it is. Just tell your story. Tell it. Yeah. Order for somebody to know, tell it. Don't be ashamed. Just tell it. Just let the world know what's going on. And it can make a big difference. But you got to take that stand. You got to open your mouth and you got to let people know this is happening next door. Or this is happening right here in my neighborhood or in my place. So, that's why I was so emotional trying to talk to you guys, that I had my best friend. Her name was Earth Angel. When I took her to the vet, I knew that She was dead. I was holding my baby. That's how much bond I was with my cat. And I never got over these people for setting the services off, and the cold got in her body, and it killed my cat. When I came from the vet for watching them put my cat to sleep and they couldn't save her, it hurt me so bad. That's how mean these people was to me. They were so mean to me. After that, after all the years, I just gave up. And then once again, hope came right back alive again when I saw everybody across the street protesting. And then, y'all really gave me the strength. Y'all really gave me the strength to open my mouth. And that's why I am the way I am today, because people need to know, don't let nobody bully you. Don't let nobody push you. Don't let nobody step on your toes. Don't let nobody do this to you. Because in every state there is, it may be happening. And people is afraid that they're not able to be a person like I am. I'm a brave person. And being brave in this world, you're not all alone. And I just know that when I met everyone is caring. They so concerned about what's happening. And like I say, y'all part of my family, whether y'all know it or not. Y'all are part of my family. Y'all really go all the way out and make a big difference. And y'all keep doing the job. Keep doing the good job. If we got to walk all over people, it's taking advantage of people like me and a whole lot many more. If we got to walk all over them, that's what we have to do. If we got to have bills and bells, if they got to pass these bells for these landlords, we have to tear them down. We got to stop them for doing what they are doing right today, forcing people out. And these crises that we living in, going through, we got to take a stand. We have to go from every town to town and be heard. We have to. We got to be heard all over the world. This is going on. And people are scared to open their mouth. They scared to stand up. And I'm so glad that, everything is finally just about over now. And I'm so glad I came out. And I'm glad every time when I could just try to make a big difference. I want to be heard. I want people to understand. Don't let this happen, what happened to me. Don't do it. You don't have to do it. And that's all what I have to say. Please, don't take this. Don't take it no more. Don't let nobody push you. Don't let nobody walk all over you. Because you're not all alone. You may think you all alone. There's people will come out here just to meet you and just take a stand with you if we could. And if you're willing to let us, don't be moved. Don't let nobody move you from where you at. Don't let nobody push you and tell you that you cannot stay where you was already at. Don't do it. Look at me. I'm strong now. I'm not going to go from town to town and move from place to place. I'm going to be right here. It don't make no sense that every time you turn around, like I told you, when you turn around, this person going to force you out. Every time, it may be 20 times out of 1 year that you're going to probably get up and run every time if somebody come to your door, if somebody knock on your door, you're going to keep running if it's a bully of a landlord? Nah, I can't be moved and I can't be bullied. I won't be moved and I won't be bullied. I won't.